In today's video, I'll show you how you'd be able to use ClickUp for note taking. So let's get started. So first of all is that I'm going to show you the quickest way on how you could take notes here using ClickUp is by clicking here on your profile on the top right. And from here, you would now have the notepad, which is this one. So now you can just click on that, and then now you can create your quick notes and click on create a note. And let's say that ideas I have thought of today. You can do it like this. You can list it right here, just like that, and so on. And then you could also add some, this one right here. You could convert this note into task. You could definitely do that, and then you can now locate where you'd want it to be created, like the assignee, due date, priority, tags, and the task right here. This is a task. And this one right here, this is where you'd be able to locate where you'd want it to be located, so you can change on the space that you'd want this to be included and so on. And yeah, basically that's the simple note feature here on ClickUp. And now that you know about this, is that you can go back in here, and then you'd now be able to see the list of notes that you have made here in Notepad. So yeah, that is the quickest way on how you would be able to take notes here in ClickUp using the quick Notepad. And I'm going to show you another one, which is something for a heavier work or note taking. You could use this if you don't want to use or just settle with the Notepad feature. Now, what you want to do is to click here on more on the left menu, and then just go into Docs. And basically, you'll be creating a doc instead of a notepad. And from here, click here on New Doc. And then you can basically just type in your notes in here. Like, for example, I'm going to put in the title. I'm going to go for Science Class Notes for Q1. Maybe something like that. And then you can now add the notes right here. Blah, 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 blah. Right there. And then once you're done with your notes, another thing that you could do is that you could also add another page under this page right here, which is really cool, so that you could have all these pages just for these certain notes. Like for this example, it would be science class. So all of this would be for the science class notes. So this one is for Q1. So maybe I'm going to go for Q2 this time right there. Notes for Q2, so that you would have them in just one doc, which is really handy in my opinion. So that is why I said this for something much more heavier compared to the quick notepad that we did previously. And now once you're done with this, is that you could always click here on the three dots, and then you would now be able to click here on add to. And then you can now add it as a task in your list and your spaces and so on. If you would want it to be added there, you could also go for the sidebar. So now let's say that I would want it to be added into my list in my space, which is here. I would want it here on the list right there. So now it has been added. And then you could also share this if you'd want. You could also have some comments in here if needed. And yeah, basically there are a ton of things that you could still do here on this docs. Feel free to explore. Now let's go back in here into the home page, and from here is that we will now view the doc on where we have added here in this space. So we have added here in this space, and then here in this view. And basically to view it, you would now have it under the views right here, or one of the views right here. So it's this one, so you can click on that, and now you can view it right here. And then you can also see the other pages that you have added into this doc. So now you have it right here. So yeah, that's it on how you'd be able to use ClickUp for note taking. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.